After a massive strike on Ukraine's power grids, President Vladimir Putin of Russia has threatened to strike decision-making centers in Kyiv with Russia's new hypersonic missile, AFP reported. Russia had fired more than 90 missiles and around 100 drones during the overnight attack on Ukraine, which took out the power grid and left millions without power. And the Kremlin chief had called this a response to Ukrainian strikes on its territory using Western missiles. The nearly 3-year war has seen a sharp escalation in recent days, with both sides deploying new weapons in a bid to gain the upper hand before US President-elect Donald Trump takes office in January. Quote, "We do not rule out the use of Oreshnik against the military, industrial, or decision-making centers, including Kyiv," unquote, Putin told a press conference in the Kazakh capital Astana, referring to the hypersonic missile. Kyiv's government district, an area of the capital where multiple government buildings are located, is protected with intense security, but there are fears that it would be broken. Russia last week tested its Oreshnik ballistic missile on Ukraine, and Putin boasted on Thursday that firing several of the weapons at once would have the equivalent force of a nuclear strike or a meteorite hit. He earlier said the overnight attack was response to continued attack on their territory using 80 ACMS missiles, which are manufactured by USA. Quote, "As I have said repeatedly, there will always be a response from our side," unquote, the Russian chief said. Putin also claimed Russia knew how many long-range weapons were given to Kyiv and where they were located. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said Putin's threat to strike Kyiv was a testament to weakness and said the West would not be perturbed by his words. The fresh strike comes as Ukrainians brace for a tough winter, with much of its energy infrastructure already damaged in the almost 3-year-long war, and as Russian troops have advanced into eastern Ukraine. Tensions have ratcheted up over the last few weeks as both sides look more secure advantage on the battlefield ahead of Trump's January inauguration. Putin suggested he had hopes for Trump's second term, describing the Republican as an intelligent person capable of finding a solution without specifying what he was referring to, whether the solution would be peace or anything else. The Russian leader spoke hours after the overnight attack that left more than 500,000 people in Ukraine's western Lviv region cut off from electricity. There were reports that water supply was also halted. Another 280,000 in the western Lviv region, 215 in the northwestern Volyn region also lost power, according to Ukrainian officials. Ukraine's emergency services said Russia's overnight strikes inflicted damage in 14 regions across the country. Zelensky said that Russia also fired cluster munitions during the attack, calling it a very despicable escalation of Russian terrorist tactics. According to an AFP report, blasts were rung out overnight, and Reuters reported that they could be heard throughout the country almost. The Energy Ministry has said it was the 11th massive Russian attack on Ukraine's civilian energy infrastructure this year alone. A senior UN official, Rosemary DiCarlo, according to a Guardian report, this month warned Russian attacks on Ukraine's energy infrastructure that may make this winter the harshest one yet since the beginning of the war.